We are back with another lifting and life lesson vlog today. Today, we are gonna do legs again because I do legs at least twice or at least like 1 to 2 times a week. I probably should do a little HIIT training because I feel like that's also, we're gonna focus like glutes and core. I think it'll have to be glutes and core. This is today's fit, little romper. I seem to love rompers. That seems to kind of be my things. Glutes with a little bit of abs. And today, it's so interesting because over the weekends, Dylan and I have been getting a little frustrated with one another because of, instability in the finances. And we're trying to, surprise, I'm just gonna say it, we're trying to get married by the end of November. We're just gonna go basically do an elopement because we feel like overall the wedding industry is just overly hyped up. The prices have gone insane just to have one night of a party basically to celebrate marriage and love. And so Dylan and I have had a lot of frustrations with this because we feel like we want to throw a bigger party, but obviously finances are not permitting. And then also, we just don't see logically why it makes sense to spend 30 to 40K on a wedding. So what we're gonna do is have a very private elopement, me, Dylan, under God. We just wanna make sure that we're right with God. That's the reason why we're kind of not rushing the marriage, but wanting to make sure that we are right under God before we continue having sex. We've actually stopped having sex and have decided to abstain until we are married. And so it's just this entire journey that we've kind of been on, really trying to repent for everything that we have done that could have been sinful or are clearly sinful. And we're just trying to turn from our old ways in order to honor God more. So we stopped sex, we're getting married, and that's that. So we're gonna save a little bit of money and be right under God. We just really want to set God as the foundation of what we are doing. We want to sit right under God. We want to humble ourselves and have Him as the foundation and the center of our relationship, because we know that if we are to make it, till the end of time, till death do us part, that it's going to require a outworldly commitment to each other. It's going to require a commitment that's not just grounded in self, but also grounded in our faith in God. And so, yeah, it's just a solid foundation. I think the statistics are like crazy. The couples who pray together and who submit themselves under God have a 1% divorce rate. Now, don't quote me. I don't remember where I got the statistics from. Yeah, it's 1%, which is crazy. Yeah, it's just a way to ensure more success in our relationship. So today is I feel like I've been having a lot of realizations about I'm gonna wait till she's done hacking. She's old, so you okay, mamas? You're good. So today I dove into the Bible. I just started reading Revelations. I don't know how I've never read the book of Revelations before. I think I have a long, long time ago, but I really don't remember any of it. So it's like brand new to me either way. And I feel like I am starting to come to a different realization about faith and suffering. If you guys had seen my last lifting and life lessons, I talked a lot about rejoicing in the suffering. And I think it's just a nice reminder once again that when God corrects us, basically puts us on a path that feels painful, feels like we're suffering, oftentimes it's because He loves us and He is either protecting us or withholding something until we have basically got our footing with where we're at. Because so many times we ask for things that we're probably not ready for. And when we want these things, God puts it upon us to receive these things. But in order to receive it, we have to be reaching a certain level where we can actually sustain and withstand it. example is if I was blessed with millions of dollars, do I have the stewardship to actually make that money last for a lifetime, right? Maybe not right now because of my spending habits. And so I feel a strong pull currently in my life to stewardship, right? God blessed me with more finances. I'm making more money than I was consistently in content creation at this point. It has been the most consistent and the most I've made through content creation ever. And yet somehow I'm still in this financial deficit. And granted, it's because I'm also supporting, like Dylan and I are both in on supporting each other. So it's two people instead of one. But regardless, there is a lesson to be learned about stewardship here. So I am gonna go lift and get this workout in. Let's hit the gym. Gotta get my water bottle. Check out this too. Look at this water bottle. It looks like one of my awards when I used to bodybuild. Bodybuild as in bikini division. I was never like a huge bodybuilder, but look at that. Look at that. Looks just like her. Okay. Anyways, let's get going here. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. I'm in high spirits today, guys. I feel good. I feel the Holy Spirit rising within. Bye, Kelly. I love you. So anyways, guys, I feel like my life has lately been a little bit of a drama series, but it's all like internal battles that I have to overcome and endure. And it's crazy because like, if I really think about it, life is really not that bad right now. Life is really not that bad. It's going great. Like, I have a ton of blessings to be grateful for. And yet somehow, I seem to destroy it with my mental thinking that life is just as difficult as it was once before, and it's definitely not the same case. It makes me think of the service that we went to on last Sunday. The pastor was talking about how when Jesus went to go save Lazarus after he had died, he told Lazarus to. This TV is so loud. Who does this? I'm gonna turn this off. Taking all the controllers. People be crazy. I know the election's here in like 5 days, but we need to turn off all of these. These are freaking loud as hell. Off. This is why I bring extra controllers. There you go. There you go. Shut up. Everyone shut up. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the news, as we all kind of are sometimes. Let me spit out this gum. By the way, this gum, Neuro gum, so freaking good. It's got L-theanine in it, and it's naturally caffeinated, so all natural energy basically. It's sustainable energy, no crash. This is not sponsored. I just absolutely love that stuff, and it's the best. It's the best. Okay, let's get my workout in. All right, let's warm up. We're gonna do some HIIT training along with legs. Got limber up. My right side balance is a little off. I'll put that on big guy, big guy. Always want to make sure that your hips are facing forward. So I use my body parts to make sure I'm in alignment a lot. So if I know my hips need to be facing forward, I'll put my hands on my hips to square up and make sure I stay squared up. Let's go do a little bit of back warm up. This one might be a little bit hard for me to do lifting and life lessons because it's HIIT training. As I was saying, guys, there was a story in the Bible that talks about when Jesus went to go save Lazarus when he had died, and when he raised him from the dead, Lazarus stood up, but when he left the tomb that he was buried in for a few days, he had all of these wrappings, because when you pass back then, I don't know if they still do it now, they wrap you up to preserve the body and keep you kind of in your tomb, and then they put you in this tomb. And when he rose from the dead, he had all of these wrappings, old things that were with him in his previous life. When he died, he was wrapped in it. And it just makes me think, or at least this is what the pastor was saying. He was talking about oftentimes when we have a spiritual awakening, something changes in our life and our old self has to die. It is a difficult process because when we are letting go of old things, sometimes in our new life, even if we're living in it and have already been saved, we often will bring old baggage, old wrappings, old things that came from our previous ways of living. And I think it's important to remember, because even if we talk about it in, even if we talk about it, my knees, in modern day times, I feel like that's kind of what I'm going through. You know, I'm living a whole new life. I look at the world around me. It's very obvious that I came from nothing and I'm starting to build something. I'm not fully to my fullest potential yet. We're just getting started, but part of that journey to step into the next level of myself is going to require me to let go of the old habits and behaviors and old beliefs, really, and also the belief of me still being in that old place. I feel like sometimes, like right now, I'm kind of experiencing this financial instability once again. And it kind of happens back and forth, especially in this journey of entrepreneurship. It's like one day we're all good, 1 month we have a high month, and then all of a sudden the next month we drop off or we have a big expense. It's kind of just life, right? Excuse me. Lord help me. And even though life looks very different, I'm still kind of experiencing almost the same things, but on a not the same things. I'm experiencing the same things, but it's like not on the same level. It's like a lot lighter, and things are a lot more promising this time around than they were in the first place. And so it's interesting because I feel like I'm kind of responding to the same problem with the same emotions, and as if I am right back in that place that I was a year ago, but life looks very different for me now. And so, Lordy help me. And so I think this also could tie into how triggers kind of happen for us, right? Like another example is if you're, dying right now. Another example is if you are dating someone, right? And because you're going through some friction, you start to believe that this man or woman is the same exact as the person before them. And so when they do something similar, you almost forget about their entire being, their entire personality, and start to associate them with a past relationship, and therefore begin to blame them, begin to think that they're just the same like every other man, every other woman. And you get stuck in this cycle and this story until you realize that, yes, people are flawed, things happen in life that we can't explain and are really unfortunate, but the only way to actually conquer these things, these triggers, these feelings, is to experience them, work through it, and overcome it through internal states, internal minds, which is why I think it's so important to spend time by yourself and to really allow yourself the personal time that you need to work through some of these darker truths of your past. Because so many times we are moving through life so fast that we get lost in the day-to-day, in the mundane things, and we forget to pause and actually reflect and look at what's going on in our lives. And when you are not grounded in the present, it's often very easy to overlook what you should be grateful for in your life. It's very easy to be looking too forward ahead and thinking, okay, well, I don't have all these things, or looking at your past, feeling like you've been wronged. Oh, that hurts my butt. I gotta stop doing that. I just feel like that's kind of where I'm at, and part of the lesson that I feel like God is teaching me is that I need to pause, actually see what I have currently in my life, be grateful, have some gratitude, and instead to stop focusing on all the things that I don't have and appreciate what I do. And I know that that's not new news or anything, but it is one of those like core lessons that we all seem to kind of forget. It is so easy to overlook these lessons. I feel like we kind of become desensitized to it with the podcast era and everybody sharing their thoughts online. I mean, obviously I'm part of that statistic. But if you have gained anything from this podcast, is some of the basics, right? Like sometimes we just need to go back to the basics and remember that life looks very different for some of us now. And if you actually like reflect, there's the TVs again. And if you really actually take some time to reflect deeply, you can actually realize there's a lot in your life that you could be grateful. I guarantee that you have at least, this is bare minimum, which I think that there's even more than the bare minimum. But if you, I think if you actually look at your life, there is at least one piece of gold, one thing in your life that you should be eternally grateful for. Let's go through this fast. Okay. Tell me this water bottle isn't cool. And it keeps my water cold the entire time, the entire night. I filled up my ice once the other day, and by the end of the day, there were still ice cubes in it. That's crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna focus for a second here and finish my workout. And if a lesson comes to me, we will continue talking. If not, then enjoy the workout, because I am putting music on. I gotta share with you guys this playlist, insane. Let's pick up the weight. Let's pick up the weight. Working myself. Oh my god, I can't believe I did this. I actually broke my mic. Basically, the little iPhone insert got destroyed. It fell and just like popped right off. So, yeah, that's not good. I can't believe I did that. Can't believe it. I have to speak up, project my voice, and hopefully the audio doesn't bother you until I get a replacement. My bad. But anyways, back to what I was doing before I so graciously broke my really not so cheap mic. I love it. I love it so much that I broke it. Mistakes are made, y'all. I'm clumsy today. Because I broke my mic, I'm gonna finish off this life lesson with a voiceover. I truly believe that there is at least one good thing in your life that you can be grateful for. So take the time to yourself where you can reflect on that and focus on the good in your life, not the bad. Because when you exude that energy of positivity, your outer world will transform around you. It's actually one of the laws of the universe. Love and abundance will be returned to you when you exude love and abundance. And the quickest way to get to that state is through feeling of gratitude. Thank you guys for listening to another lifting and life lesson. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. I do a weekly vlogcast, and I will see you next week.